What up, chat? It's Friday morning, Friday afternoon, actually. Had my Friday meeting with one of the gym owners around here, and it actually went really well. So, a little background on what I'm talking about. I was going to my local gym, a non-commercial gym, sometime earlier this week. Actually, I think it was last Saturday, and so I was going in, I was recording my content, and I seen the owner, and I would say we were friends at this point, right? Having our conversation, whatever, and I walked inside the gym, and I had a voice in my head, whether you want to say it's my voice, if you're religious, you want to say God, or whoever you believe in, whatever. I'm just going to say a voice told me to go back out there and offer content creation services. So, it's actually what I did. I left my backpack out there. I left my phones right there. I brought my camera, and I was like, yo, by the way, I bring this camera around for content, and if you want to discuss how I can get you guys some content or how we can partner, I'm always available. He said, yeah, text him, whatever. So I texted him. After I texted him, I never got a reply back, which is okay. I didn't expect a reply right away, and then it went a couple days, right? So it went from Sunday to Monday to Tuesday. So I reached out to him, and I reached out, but I seen him in the morning as I was leaving the gym, and I was like, yo, by the way, did you want to discuss more about the content or, are your services and needs in that area being met already? So fast forward, we were able to connect today, and he was like, yeah, back then he was like, let's have a meeting for Friday. We scheduled the meeting for Friday. We were having our conversations, whatever, right? It was going well. It was going amazing. So he's like, let's have a meeting Friday. I showed up for the meeting today. I showed up at about 11:37. I was always raised that if you're not early, you're late. And so I was like, hey, if you're busy right now, if you have a meeting or whatever, I can wait till 12. That's not an issue. He's like, no, let's go ahead and get started. Let's hop in the office. We hopped in the office. He explained a little bit about his background, where he's from, how he got to where he is, and what his brand shows, right? And we only went into a little bit of hieroglyphics about what, the who's, what's, when, where's, and why's. But as things progressed, he asked me at one point, he's like, am I like your pet project? And I was like, ooh, that's a terrible way to put it. Just like that. I didn't even mean to say that out loud. And then I was like, honestly, yeah. I'm not a professional. I wouldn't consider myself a professional. I would say I'm intermediate, if anything. I've been in the content creation industry for like 3 years, but I've done modeling and acting and all those sorts of things for the past 10 years. Behind a camera, I'm pretty experienced. In front of a camera, I'm even more so. And so the value that I can bring is the modeling. You got the looks, you have the swag, you got the gym, right? Like, I want to make you the face, but at the same time, when you want to teeter off, we can still instill trust in the instructors that you have currently by having them do the same segments that you do, so your audience can tell that. But team, the thing I want to emphasize is you have to take risks. In a video last week, I posted about, Carpe Diem, seizing the day, and making sure you attack every moment as if it's a brand new moment. And like, you don't have tomorrow, because tomorrow's not promised. Apollo always said, tomorrow's not promised. Tomorrow's not promised. And so if I'm going to sit here and if I'm going to chase content creation in my own world, in my own way, then I'm also going to do it in a way that I think that's going to benefit others. I will be successful, and I'm going to be successful. I am successful. But my journey isn't ending here. My journey is only beginning. My success is only at its start. I have years until it peaks. Years. Right now, I'm sharing this with you guys because I want you guys to understand that it's not like you're going to get here overnight. I was so insecure. I was so unconfident. I just never thought that I was going to have what it takes in order to get to where I wanted to be in content creation on social media. Every day I'm working on being a better person and being stronger, being more confident, having more trust in myself and for myself, having more trust for myself, believing in myself, knowing my worth, understanding that I have what it takes to be successful. I will be successful as long as I'm consistent. I have the discipline, and I have the drive and the motivation. Other than that, nobody can stop me except for myself. You can choose to be your biggest supporter or your biggest hater. If you're your biggest supporter, you're never going to rust. You're only going to sharpen yourself, right? But if you're going to be your biggest hater, something that you got to remember is that you're going to be the reason why you fail, is because the reason you're going to fail is because you're not supporting yourself, and the one person that should support you is you. Just remember that, and chase your dreams, and be unapologetic about it. Love y'all. Who did you talk to help put you in that position? How are you putting yourself, how are you getting yourself in that position? And I think that's the biggest thing that we all need to realize is, how are you putting yourself in that position to become successful and to make that next milli? You know what I'm saying? Make that next comma, make that extra zero. Buy that house for your family, buy that car for yourself. Buy that dress for your partner. Buy that pair of shoes for your partner. I don't know, whatever your motivation is. I think everybody needs to start tapping into that more, that says that they have a dream or that says that they're manifesting. I'm not saying you're not doing enough. I'm not saying you're not putting in the work enough. But what I will say is the more work you put in, the better the outcome is going to be. So just remember that. Remember that you guys need to put in that work every single day. Remember that you guys need to put in that shit 24/7. And you can't just skate by and expect that shit to blow up. It's not going to blow up without the work. It's not going to blow up without the work. It's not going to blow up without you having the conversations or actually putting yourself in the position that it takes to be successful. Put yourself in that position. Reach out to those people. Network with those people. Go say hi to a stranger. Whatever. But it's time that we, in this community, start being ourselves, but chasing our goals, and each and every day trying to put ourselves in a better position. It's actually wild. Talk about some bullshit about the event, how hot it is here. Hot as fuck. The good things about being down here is that you get these events. The bad thing about living down here is you get these events plus traffic, plus all the foot traffic. I think they're more organized because of the exposure that they have. They have so many under their belt. I heard somebody say that they do this event every other year here. So sounds like that they're pretty used to it. Crocs are never gonna be in style. I don't know why motherfuckers are wearing Crocs. Buns. It's wild that there's so many people here, but there's such a clear area right there. I feel like there's so many people. My feet hurt. If you guys got to this point in the video, it means that you guys know I am
starting a new endeavor or a new journey as like a social media strategist, social media specialist for a local gym called The VOD. And so, what we're gonna do today is I wanted to bring you guys along with me to record some of the content for the gym, and outside of the content for the gym, follow a little bit in my morning. So just getting there, how I'm going to set up, what I'm going to do really, what I'm going to really look for. Completely outside of doing this for myself and my own benefit, there's going to be so many opportunities, and there's going to be so many things that are going to come my way that I would have never expected to come my way before. And so now being here and being in this opportunity, I'm just extremely blessed and I'm ready. So we just arrived. I'm going to change filters, head on in, and I'm going to get set up. So we're going to show y'all. Love. What's up, chat? Whew. That was fun. I just finished up the gig for today. It was cool. It was very awkward, though. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I'm not going to sit here and fake the funk as if like it was all natural and it felt cool. I'm not going to lie. There was a lot of objections that I internally had to overcome. I was saying to myself, this person doesn't feel like they want to be recorded, or this person doesn't want to be recorded, or, reading into certain movements of other people when they see the camera come out, right? A lot of these people haven't seen the camera come out for the gym and like just to film their class in maybe quite some time, let alone these people have seen me in their gym filming my own content with my camera. And now they're probably like, who is this guy now recording content, or like using his same camera that he uses for himself to, use in here. All valid arguments, all valid conversations. But even then, right, like, I don't know if they're saying these things. I don't know if that's how they feel. They're still working out. They're not telling me these things. So is this a time where don't read into what I'm being, whatever I'm thinking, or, don't read into the things that I'm telling myself in comparison to, still film and try to get those good angles, right? Full transparency, I feel like I missed a couple of great angles and a couple of great sets because, A, this is my first time, right? Give grace. but B, because I was telling myself that these certain individuals didn't want to be recorded or, whatever. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to be in their face with the camera, but I can be enough distance away where I can capture the moment, scale it, and center it later on so that it's still going to be, it's still going to be clean and crisp. So, was it fun? Yes. Do I think that I have so much to learn? Definitely. But I think that it's going to be a great journey, and this is only the beginning of something beautiful. It's just I got to stay on course. I got to stay disciplined. I got to stay on track. I wanted to say thank you so much for joining. It was a wonderful time. It was nice to get, the bugs out of the way. And as each time I come in and I record content, I'm going to feel more comfortable. And I think that the gym community here is going to feel more comfortable as well too. So thank you so much for joining in, y'all. And let's ride out. You ever have a feeling like when you buy something or you just have like I always like to use the word inclining. You got some sort of understanding that you're meant for greater. Okay, let me just talk about my instance. I have an inclining all the time that I'm meant for greater. A lot of times, like, I'll refer to it as like the voice in my head, or I'll refer to it as like, the higher ups. I'm not very religious, but I'm more spiritual than anything. And so I just feel like they continue to tell me that I'm meant for more. They continue to show and remind me that I'm meant more in so many ways. And I feel like I was sleeping on my opportunities to rebrand or, get myself to be in position to accept these blessings, is what one may say. But I always see, I get in these mindsets, and a lot of times I'll be on social media or whatever, and that's probably the reason why I'm feeling the way that I am. I see other people that are where I want to be, and I'm like, why am I not there? What are they doing differently that I'm not doing? I'm putting in the work every day. I'm setting up my camera. I'm overcoming my insecurities with recording in public. I'm doing what I feel like I got to do to set myself apart. But you always got to remember that although you were still becoming that person, you weren't that person, and you weren't ready to receive those blessings. You weren't ready to be in position you weren't ready to be in the position that you're meant to be in yet. They always say, like, a lot of people say that version of yourself hasn't transpired yet, or that version of yourself, you haven't became that version of yourself yet, or, whatever the case may be, however you want to word it, however the shoe is going to fit, you just aren't ready for those yet. Whether you want to say it's you as the person, if that's if you want to say that you're mentally not there, physically not there, whatever, you're just not putting in enough work. And that's something that I got to look in the mirror every day and tell myself, okay, you put in that work yesterday. Where can you put more work in, right? It's that constant reevaluation, that reanalysis. It's that constant, making sure that you're on track. It's that constant reminder that, okay, I'm doing every step necessary to put myself or get myself to the position to where I want to be. It's literally just straight like that. Right now, I'm recording on the way home because I want to give you guys more content about how I talk to myself when I drive. I want to give you guys more of an insight of who I am and how I operate as a person. I talk to myself all the time. I talk to myself about strategies. I talk to myself about my reevaluation, my reanalysis process. I talk to myself about literally everything. If I'm about to go into a meeting, I'm going to, try to think of the things that I would say, comebacks that they may say, and then how I'm going to come back to those and object and da-da-da. But at the end of the day, all that I'm saying is that you got to be prepared. And the only way to be prepared is to stay ready. You got to stay ready so you don't got to get ready. That's the main thing. So for me, do I have everything that I need to be successful with content creation, with being a social media strategist and manager? For sure. Do I personally feel like I've put in enough work to tell everybody and their mom that that's what I do and that's what I'm going to do? not quite. And then if they have questions about, you know, my skill set or my experience, being truthful and transparent, if you want to rate it between, you know, beginner, intermediate, and advanced, I'm intermediate. I say there's things where I'm on the, you know, in between beginner, intermediate, and then there's also things where I'm between intermediate. Excuse me. And there's also things where I say, like, I'm between intermediate and advanced. I've talked to people about the flow state, where when you want to measure it on a graph and an X, Y axis, right? The X axis you could put as having fun. So way left is not fun at all. Far right is all, you know, super fun, whatever, right? And then if you go on the Y axis, you put, you know, again, at the very bottom, you not challenging, right? The Y axis is going to be measured as, you know, how challenging the task is. So at the very base of it, right? 0, not challenging at all. At the very top of it, extremely challenging, whatever. And how the best way I know how to say this is when you're measuring between the cross between the x-axis and the y-axis, when it's the most challenging task, but you're having the most fun, that's that flow state. That's what editing and content creation and videography does for me. It really has me in my flow state. I love y'all. I'm going to tune in on the next one. Peace.